A 15% salary bump sounds like an obvious yes. You run the quick math in your head. That's an extra $11,000 a year, maybe $12,000. You think about what that changes. You think about accepting. But there's a number almost no one calculates before they sign. How long until that raise puts them ahead? Not ahead on paper, truly ahead. After accounting for everything the offer letter doesn't show you. That number is your break-even point. And for most job switches, it's somewhere between 8 and 14 months out, which means for most of that first year at your new job, you're working your way back to zero before the gain even starts. In this video, we're going to build the full job switch calculation, what you're giving up on the day you leave, what you're genuinely gaining, and how to find your real break-even before you make the call. This isn't an argument against switching jobs. It's an argument for going in with the right number instead of the headline number. The way most people evaluate a job offer is straightforward. Current salary on one side, new salary on the other. If the gap is big enough, the case feels obvious. If it's not, you hesitate. The whole decision lives inside that one comparison, and it's not a bad starting point. Salary matters, but the offer letter is designed to show you one number clearly and leave everything else implied. The signing bonus is right there on the page. The base salary is right there. The vesting schedule for your 401k match at your current job. That's not on the page. The cost of insurance during the 90 days before your new benefits kick in. Not on the page. The paid time off you've accrued and may not get paid out. Also not on the page. None of those things appear in the comparison most people are running. The offer letter is a summary of what you're gaining. It has nothing to say about what you're leaving behind. And what you're leaving behind has a dollar value that most people never add up until after the decision is already made. Think of your total compensation at your current job as an iceberg. Base salary is what's above the surface. Visible, easy to compare. Below, it is everything else. Employer 401k match, health insurance contributions, accrued PTO, the institutional knowledge that makes you effective, and proximity to your next performance review cycle. Some of that has a clear dollar value. Some of it is harder to quantify but still real. When you switch jobs, you take the new salary, throw away the part above water, but you also reset most of what's below. Not all of it disappears. Some of it you keep. But a meaningful portion gets left behind, and the new job doesn't replace it on day one. There's a gap between what you gave up and when the new package catches up. That gap is what the break-even calculation measures. It's not pessimism about the move, it's just the actual timeline. There are 4 cost categories worth building into the number. The first is 401k vesting. Most employer matching contributions don't belong to you the moment they're deposited. They vest over time, either on a cliff schedule, where you become fully vested after a fixed period, typically 3 years, or on a graded schedule where ownership phases in over as long as 6 years. Leave before you've crossed the relevant threshold and you forfeit whatever hasn't vested. On a 3-year cliff plan, leaving at month 31 means walking away from essentially 3 years of employer contributions. For someone earning $80,000 with a 4% match, that's $3,200 per year. Leave a year before the cliff, and the forfeiture is $9,600. A number that lands on day one of the new job as a loss, not a gain. Most people are aware vesting exists. Far fewer have ever calculated where they stand on the schedule. The second is the benefits gap. Most employers have a waiting period before new health benefits activate. 90 days is standard across most industries. During that window, you have options, but none of them are free. COBRA continuation coverage, staying on your former employer's plan, runs at full premium cost, meaning the portion your employer was covering gets added to your bill. Individual COBRA commonly runs between $700 and $2,000 a month depending on the plan. A 90-day bridge at $1,070 a month is $3,210 out of pocket before your new coverage ever starts. That cost doesn't appear on the offer letter, but it shows up on your bank statement. The third is PTO reset. Most companies require new employees to accrue paid time off from zero. If you leave carrying 15 unused vacation days and your state doesn't mandate payout, which many don't, those days are gone. On a $75,000 salary, 15 days of unused PTO is worth roughly $4,326. It's not the biggest number in the calculation, but it's real. And it's easy to overlook because it doesn't feel like a cost. It feels like days you just didn't use. The fourth is harder to attach a figure to, but affects the trajectory of the entire first year: institutional capital reset. At your current job, you know the systems, the people, and the unwritten rules that make you effective. That knowledge compounds in your performance reviews and your raise eligibility. At a new job, you start from zero. Most companies won't include you in a merit review cycle until you've been there 12 months. The first year is structurally positioned to produce no raise, even if you're performing well. That's not a loss in the accounting sense, but it slows the rate at which the new salary improves your position. Let me show you what this looks like with a concrete scenario. Someone earning $75,000 receives an offer for $87,000. That's a 16% increase, or $12,000 annually. On paper, it's straightforward. Now run the full number. They're 2.5 years into a 3-year cliff vesting schedule. Employer matches 4% of salary. They forfeit $7,500 in unvested contributions. The new employer has a 90-day benefits waiting period. They elect COBRA at $1,070 a month, so $3,210 for the bridge period. They're carrying 12 unused PTO days that won't be paid out, worth $3,461 at their current salary. Those three figures add up to $14,171 in first-year costs that appear nowhere on the offer letter. The gross year one gain from the salary difference is $12,000. After transition costs, the real first-year net is negative $2,171. They are behind on day one. The COBRA cost clears by month 4. The PTO gap closes by month 7. The vesting forfeiture is the slow one. That takes until month 13 to fully earn back through the salary differential. Break even month 13. The move still makes sense. From month 14 onward, they're compounding ahead indefinitely. But the decision that looked like an obvious yes from month 1 required month 13 to validate it. The way I think about it, the break-even calculation doesn't require a spreadsheet. It needs 3 inputs: what you're forfeiting at the current job, what the transition costs during the bridge period, and what the net monthly salary gain is after tax. Divide the total forfeiture and bridge costs by the net monthly gain, and you have your break-even month. That number shifts how you approach the decision in practical ways. It might not change whether you switch, but it often changes when. Waiting 2 months to cross a vesting cliff before giving notice can recover thousands of dollars without changing the opportunity. Negotiating a signing bonus to cover the COBRA bridge is a reasonable ask once you know the gap exists. Some employers will accelerate benefits start dates if you ask directly. These aren't difficult conversations. They're just conversations most candidates never have because they never ran the number. And there are situations where the break-even is long enough that the offer needs to be renegotiated before it genuinely makes sense. There are also situations where the break-even doesn't change the decision at all. If your employer has a structural ceiling on raises, or the role has genuinely stalled, or the environment is doing real damage, in those cases, the calculation still helps you understand the true cost of leaving. It doesn't always change the answer. It clarifies what you're deciding. Switching jobs is not the risk. Going in with the wrong number is. Most people who regret a move don't regret leaving. They regret not knowing what they were walking into or not negotiating better once they knew. Run the break-even before you sign. That's the whole framework. If you want to go deeper on how the order of financial decisions affects the outcome, more than the size of them does, there's a video on this channel that covers exactly that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.